Hello and welcome to all you crystal enthusiasts to another podcast where I will be speaking about the quantum field and the fifth dimension. Hello, hope you're having a great day and thank you for joining me again today. In this podcast, my aim is to introduce you to the quantum field. I would like to share with you my experience of communicating with a being of the light that took place in the energy portal found in the woods that I have mentioned to you in previous podcasts. From my meditation room, I shifted my awareness into the center of the portal. So basically, transported my awareness through time and space to become solely focused on sitting silently, listening and waiting for whatever may happen, whilst my awareness was in the portal. I find that if I have expectation of what's going to happen, I get absolutely nothing. So I have to breathe my awareness into the silence to enable a good connection and hold a good focus on the silence and just wait and watch. So before I continue here, please let me just share with you that you can actually shift your awareness to any energy spot around the world. However, I would strongly suggest that it is advantageous for the soul of your growth to ask permission first. Plus, I like to only move my awareness to places that I have physically visited so that I have physically touched and partially know the frequency before I do this. One of my favourite places to visit is the Acropolis, another being Stonehenge, Longmeg in the Lake District, and of course the Neolithic rocks that I have been privileged to meet in physical in the three-dimensional realm. I am sure you will get to visit many more than that and maybe different ones around the world. But for now, my energy is touching base with a portal that I found in my local woods, and it is teaching me so much, and that is what I'd like to share with you. So, okay, back to present day. Sitting fully alert, holding awareness on the portal and waiting for, whatever to happen. I then became aware that my attention had become divided. I had become an observer of myself, almost like I was a witness to my own energy body, which was in the circle, the portal, and I was sitting in the tree looking at the circle at me. That might be a bit complicated, but this is quantum physics. So actually, I had awareness of two me's. I can see one version of me in the circle, in the portal, but my point of reference was from the trees. And I know that I am experiencing the multidimensional quantum field, which I might add is difficult to get your head around. One scientist did mention that if you think you haven't understood the quantum field, then you have definitely not understood it, as it cannot be understood. There is no logic to it. And I can definitely relate to this, having had some quite extraordinary experiences. So back to the witness point from the trees of me observing my own energy body in the portal. And I can see a very beautiful being of light come towards me, towards my energy body from the north. This is quite important, that when you start to work with portals, you recognize that the direction has an impact on the quality of the experience that you're going to have. But I'll do that in another podcast. So my energy body is facing the north, and from the north, a tender, beautiful, gentle energy in light came towards my energy body. And this energy just looked like a beautiful, wonderful goddess, almost transparent. And I could sense her purity and her wish to understand and help me understand. It was almost like she knew so much and recognized that I knew so little, and was here to support and guide me and teach me more about the quantum field and the fifth dimension. So once again, no words were exchanged, just knowings that I am now translating into words for you guys in this podcast. She said, but she didn't say, these are just knowings, sorry. I am here to help you understand and navigate your awareness to fully reside and experience the fifth dimensional vibrational frequency that is here on Earth. And then I witnessed from the tree that she had her hand holding over my energy head and was flooding the crown of my energy body with light. I could also see that my energy body was getting lighter and brighter as she did so. It was like she was filling me with life, light, understanding, wisdom, so much. She explained that the fifth dimension demands us not to do, but to be. Creation is an art and flows magically into existence when expressed from the heart. She then started to sing to me, and it was so absolutely beautiful. The sound was feeding my soul, caressing my energy ears, and although I couldn't physically hear her singing, I could sense and understand what she was trying to say. She was saying that she wasn't doing the singing, she was being sung. She was feeling the melody in her heart and allowing that melody to be expressed through her voice so that she became a vehicle for the heart to express itself. Wow, just wow. It was so pure and so beautiful. She here was just demonstrating the difference between doing and being. Being is effortless. It is a union, a natural phenomena, and requires no effort, just practice, I suppose. I thought to myself, I would sound absolutely awful if I tried to do that. So she asked me to try it and let whatever sound came out of me, allow it to come out. She said it's a clearing, like you are shifting the brambles on an overgrown forest to make the journey down to your heart. So let what you consider awful sound out, and underneath you will find the beautiful. If you ever look for a diamond, you must remove and dig down through the dirt and the rubbish and what may seem like rubbish to find the beauty below. For it is the dark and the dirt that nurtures and grows the diamond. And what she was trying to say, her analogy was trying to tell me that, allow all this strain to go from you and all the tension to go from you, all the fears of not being able to sing well, of not being able to do it well, or anything like that, to just leave and make whatever sound you need to make. It doesn't matter what it sounds like initially, and eventually if you keep doing this, then it will have an impact and you will start to find the beautiful beneath it. She said to me, nearly everyone is born with an ability to sing. Many are told that they are not good enough. But in the fifth dimension, we explain about uncovering the beauty within you and to allow the process to unveil itself to you. She told me it is the same with writing, that people often halt themselves before they begin to write and sit there for hours thinking of what to put. She said, but if you just start and write whatever comes to you and then revisit it and clean it up like polishing a gemstone, it will become so beautiful and a heartfelt expression through being rather than doing that has managed to come into form. She said, do you think you understand this, what I'm trying to say, Jackie? I guess she thought that I wasn't understanding, but I did. So then she said to me, before you started writing this podcast, you were sitting pondering what to write. Now you are retelling an experience unfiltered and allowing the flow to become manifest. You've stopped worrying about the correct terminology and you've just allowed it to flow from you. And from the spirit world, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this. In my heart, I was like, oh my God, no, thank you. Thank you so much, because I do understand what you're saying and I am trying to do it that way. And now I am trying to write without thinking, just documenting my experience, which I can sift through later and tidy up like you say. So this makes life so much simpler and more pleasurable because there's no effort. And then my spiritual self in the portal asked if the light being would tell me more about the quantum physics. And my spiritual body was conversing with the light body and explaining a life event that had happened that morning. I said to her, this morning I had a dream, a very vivid dream where I could see as clearly as I can see in this three-dimensional world. Events were happening as events would happen in this world. But again, I was witnessing from what appeared to be a point of reference outside of the happenings. Nobody interacted with me or acknowledged my presence. My point of awareness seemed to be hovering in the corner of a room, just watching over the proceedings that were happening. There was no emotion, just a neutral witness status. But I was watching a young girl leave her physical body. So she was in my dream dying. Everything was so vivid. I could see what color clothes she was wearing. I could smell the hospital. It was the strangest of things, but only my awareness, not my physical, was there. I recognized that I was in the quantum field, or the multi-universe, as some people call it. I had the ability to be in one place and yet experience another. After the dream, I remember self-inquiring as to what that was all about, and the strangest thing happened. Later the same morning, I received an email from a bereavement company. This is in the three-dimensional world. This is in our world. Now, I know a bereavement company, this is just like, what? I never normally get requests like this out of the blue, especially not for bereavement companies, but I just had a really vivid dream about somebody dying, and then not a couple of hours later, when I'm sat at my emails, I receive an email from a bereavement company asking me to write about how bereavement can be helped with crystals. And I did start to think, well, can this be a coincidence? I don't think so. And also, quite often we miss these things. I could have just dismissed it and not recognized the synchronistic event or the lineup in the three-dimensional world with the experience that I'd had in the morning. I was saying to the spiritual being in the portal, I didn't think this was a coincidence at all. It appeared to be the alignment of two-dimensional states of awareness, which meant I was attracting into my three-dimensional life the frequency that had been experienced and created by the other reality. And actually, as I was retelling this to the spiritual being, I was loving the fact that I was recognizing the result of a three-dimensional world and how the effect from this other world that isn't a physical world was marrying up with the three-dimensional world. And I do remember years ago watching a documentary with Michael Flatley. And if you don't know who Michael Flatley is, he was quite a famous dancer, and he created a show called The River Dance. He's Irish, an amazing guy. And he said that when he used to go to school, he wasn't very academic, and he would just sit there daydreaming about his future. And he said on the chat show that the future that he daydreamed about in class is the life that he is now living. So he did that. He moved his awareness into the multi-universe, and in another energy, dimensional portal, whatever you want to call it, he created that life and began to marry the two lives together, which I think is really quite wonderful. The two worlds are connected, but I do know that there are more than two worlds. It would appear that where the awareness goes, energy really does flow to. I had many questions now to ask this spiritual being after spitting there in the portal and talking to them. So one of the questions I wanted to ask the spiritual being is, when I have my awareness in this altered reality, do I appear as a ghost in that world? Like some people say in this world, are ghosts in the three-dimensional world actually people in a different reality projecting their awareness into this three-dimensional reality? And does that work vice versa? Whereas when I shift my awareness through this dream, do I appear as a ghost in their world? I also wanted to know, because there appears to be many planes of existence, and are they all happening at the same time as our world in the same space? And how is this possible? And she just simply said to me, this is quantum physics. This is a different reality than you're already understanding, but these different realms of existence do exist. So my inquisitive mind had finished speaking with the spiritual body of the light being, and she said, right, let's take a moment here to help you digest what's happening right now. So right now, in this moment in time, your physical body is sat in your meditation room. Yep, yes. Your focus and your mind energy has traveled to the portal in the woods, and your spiritual body is receiving this information from a being of light. So your physical body is in the meditation room. Your mind is in the trees, but your spiritual body is in the portal. All right. Yes, that's correct. All aspects of you are receiving the information that I am giving you at the same time. You'll notice that your physical body is reacting to the light that is being put into your spiritual energy body. Your mind is interpreting the knowings that your spiritual body is receiving, and there is no separation. But you are touching on and learning about how to become more aware of the many vibratory realms that are available to access. You are actually splitting the atom, so to speak, in physics. The atom being a point of awareness, which is what the scientists say. So you are not trapped in a physical realm, Jackie, like a lot of people. You are managing to move your awareness through time and space and learn from other dimensions. And you have done most of your life. You just didn't understand what you were doing. So these other realities, dimensions have realities and experiences, but your awareness is anchored in the three-dimensional world because you come back and bring that information with you to enhance the three-dimensional world. And it needs to be, because when you travel, journeying is what the shamans called it. Your awareness brings back what you have learned into the physical world so you can implement what you have learned and aid evolution. This is why you think you are a cosmic being, because your awareness can reach this solar system and beyond if necessary. Your spiritual body understands everything it needs to do and how to do it in this three-dimensional realm. It is your mind and physical body that benefit from the knowledge of the higher dimensions, which in actual fact is you in the spiritual world. A lot of people like to think that they're linked to an outside angel or an outside guide, when in actual fact you are everything. You are everything that you are thinking about is an aspect of you. There is no separation, but sometimes people get confused with that. There are many planes of existence that are happening around the earth. And imagine it like a radio station and the many channels a radio station has available for you to listen to. You have to choose to listen to whatever station you want. So say, for instance, you choose to listen to heart radio, your awareness is streamed to do so via the numbers on the dial. But the other channels are still happening, just without your awareness. So can you imagine not being able to stream your focus, having no numbers to fine-tune your awareness? There would be total chaos because all the channels would be playing over one another, and you would have no ability to understand or perceive what was happening. It would be chaos. So in human form, you are able to stream your focus and move your awareness according to desire and inquisition. Numbers play a very important part in physics, and especially in quantum physics. But maybe we'll leave this for another time and talk about numerology in a different time. Physics is a science. It uses mathematics as the logical framework to test ideas about physical phenomena behave. So let's say that again. Physics is a science. Yep, we know that. It doesn't use words. It uses mathematics as the logic framework to test ideas about how physical phenomena behaves. So we will look into this in more detail, but I'd like to let you digest what I'm teaching you today. So I said I really, really can't wait to learn more from you and want to thank you for blessing me with these abilities and teaching me how to do this. I know I've already been doing it, but not really with conscious awareness. So applying conscious awareness gives me more control over how I can do it. So thank you so much. I asked if she had anything more she wanted to say to me, and she said, yes, I would like to say thank you. Thank you to you for your commitment and dedication to this work. You are truly making a difference. Oh my goodness. This so touched my heart. But if you're listening to this podcast and you do this work as well, and you move your awareness and you bring back things that maybe don't marry up logically or with the three-dimensional world, and you feel unique or whatever, I want to thank you too. This thank you isn't just for me. This thank you is for everybody who is doing this work and helping the evolution of the earth, the vibration, the humans, and everything. I love taking my awareness to the portal. I love sharing what I get with you guys. So I brought my awareness back from the portal to the meditation room, and my physical body felt so energized, so alert, and so informed, and so blessed, really. I know I have so much to learn, but I'm excited at the prospect of what's to come. These meetings in the woods are helping me, and the wisdom resonates with me deep inside, deep within my soul. So although it is not always marrying with my logical mind, I know somewhere deep within me that I feel it is correct. If it ever doesn't feel correct, you should always self-inquire. You have chosen to listen to my experience and maybe read other people's and what have you, but please always self-inquire and become the master of your own destiny. Does this sit right with me? And check that it is resonating with your heart and with your soul. I know for me, a lot of what I've learned has been because no, that's not sitting right with me at all. In fact, I've just had an experience very similar to that just recently, where I've been on a course and just assumed that this person knows more than me and listened to their authority on the subject and what have you, and got myself in a real tangle, and then realized that actually this isn't sitting right with me at all. That, my heart is saying, no, this isn't right. So I'm learning what is right, but what is not right for me. It may be right for that person. I'm not saying this person doesn't know what he's talking about, but it just doesn't sit right for me. And you must do the same. Never give away your empowerment to another person or another opinion. Always check in with yourself that you are aligned with your own heart wisdom and that you are resonating on the same frequency. So before I leave you today, here are some inspiring words from Albert Einstein. He said, "I didn't arrive at my understanding of the fundamental laws of the universe through my rational mind." That's quite interesting, isn't it? Because that's what I was saying before. It's like I feel and sense this is right, but my rational mind needs time to catch up with what I'm feeling and sensing. He also said, "Concerning matter, we have been all wrong. What we have called matter is energy, whose vibration has been so lowered as to be perceptible to the senses. Matter is spirit reduced to point of visibility. There is no matter, it is just energy." Albert Einstein really did bring through quantum physics as well. If you go into his life, he started to bring through quantum physics, but it wasn't accepted at the time. So he's not actually renowned for the quantum physics, but he does. Because then he goes on to say, one of his quotes is, "Time and space are not conditions in which we live, but modes by which we think." I love that. Let me say it again. Time and space are not conditions in which we live, but modes by which we think. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Thank you for joining me today. I am truly grateful to share space and time with you in this dimension, and my experience of visiting others and being the journeying shaman that I am, and I'm sure you do too. And just whet your appetite a little bit here, because when I physically went to the portal today, when I walked there, not from my meditation room, when I went out of my house and walked through the thing and physically went to the portal today, there were a group of beings there, light beings, a very wide sage, the fairy kingdom, and other beings of light. The sage asked me, "Why are you here?" And I explained that I find the energy of the land very healing, and it has softened my heart, opened my mind, and is healing my soul. That's what I said to him. And he asked me if I would like to learn more about sacred geometry and how to use it. And at that time, he activated a large Merkaba around me in the portal. It was moving very slowly. And this is me physically standing in the portal now. And then he asked me to light up my heart. What? Light up your heart. Okay. So I actually started dancing. Dancing always lights me up. I love dancing. And I can feel my heart enjoying the movement and the dance. And as I danced, my energy frequency began lighting up. And as I started to light up, the Merkaba began to light up. And I knew my place in helping the earth was to find my inner love. And it was producing light. Now I visit this portal every day, and yeah, the energy is softer and kinder within me. I love it. So the sage then took the Merkaba and placed it in the ground, and the light moved through the matrix, feeding the trees, the land, and I knew I had done good. The love that I feel for these beings is truly incredible, and I can only remain in gratitude that I navigate this world with them by my side. I cannot imagine what life would be like without having them helping me. So all that's left for me to say is have the best day. I hope you've understood a little bit about what I've been speaking about, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you more about the sacred geometry. And I feel that I'm going to start learning more about numbers. Again, this is going to be channeled, so let's see where it all leads. So thank you once again. You've been listening to Jackie Winters. I hope you have the best day, and if you want to share any experiences of your own with me, just email me and let me know. I'm always interested in listening. Okay, so have a great day, guys. Thank you.